What's up, everyone? Let's do a video breakdown. Well, not so much a video breakdown, but more of a teaching tool or a lesson on front leg lock. Some problems that can happen if you do not have good leg lock timing. And then let's talk about how to fix it if this is an issue that you might have. So this is a video from Jimmy pitching not too long ago. He had shoulder issues last year. He just finished up with rehab. And looking at this video, it's quite obvious. The leg lock his leg lock is very late. So you want that front leg to land and that leg to brace before the top half comes through. So his front foot lands, but as you can see, the knee is going to continue to creep forward, which means that leg is not bracing. Okay, he's finishing his throw here. The arm's coming through, but that leg is not stabilized yet. And by the time he's released the ball, then the leg finally locks out, finally stabilizes. So when you don't have a strong front leg to throw against, you're essentially throwing with all upper body, all arm, and that can lead to a lot of strain on that shoulder, on that elbow, and arm problems. So once again, just to kind of give you something to go by here, he's released the ball's out of his hand for a long time, and then that leg finally stabilizes. So Jimmy came down the other day, and we decided to focus on fixing that front leg lock, and let me show you how we did it. So first, let's talk about, I did this little visual. I felt we were doing it, but I wanted you got to see this to really understand what I'm talking about. If you have poor hip-shoulder separation, which means your hips and your shoulders rotate at the same time, you are not going to have a good leg lock, no matter what you do, how hard you try. I look like I'm doing yoga here. So if I'm in a landing position, stride position, I'm going to rotate my hips and my shoulders at the same time, and you can see that front leg stays bent. So if I rotate the hips and the shoulders at the same time, that front leg naturally stays bent. I'm not doing anything to that left leg. I'm just letting it work naturally. Now, here, if I force my shoulders to stay closed, as you can see, I'm pushing my left arm forward and pulling my right arm back. That keeps my shoulders closed. If I keep my arms in that position to close my shoulders off, as I rotate, naturally that front leg's going to lock out. So that's not me forcing that. That's a direct effect of creating hip-shoulder separation. So taking this thought and working with Jimmy, I did a few drills that the focus of these drills are hip-shoulder separation. So let's look first at, let's see which one this is. This is our separation med ball throws. Okay, so the focus here is the med ball keeps those shoulders loaded as the hips go. So let's just watch this first, and then we'll stop it and look at the timing of everything. So you want, and Jimmy, his velo on this throw was really good, by the way. His velo on this throw was about the equivalent to a guy that throws in the mid 80s. Whereas before he's been like 80, 81, I believe. So that front leg braces right there. It's stable. The top half's still coming through, and watch the leg lock out as the throw is finishing. See that movement right there of the leg bracing as he's finishing the throw. That's what you want. That's what you're looking for. Okay, let's look at another drill. This is another med ball throw focused on hip-shoulder separation that we do. The med ball forces the shoulders closed, front foot's down, shoulders are still closed off, leg braces. The leg is bracing as the ball is coming out. So this is all that we did really to get him to feel this front leg lock. And this didn't really take much time either. After a few throws, it was already where we wanted it to be. So that leg bracing, that leg locking as the ball is coming through, that's ideal. That's what you want. And now let's look at his throw. This is a separation throwing drill that we do. So you can see he does some dry reps to force the shoulders to stay closed as the hips are starting to open. And then as he goes through with his throw, see the hip-shoulder separation? Good hip-shoulder separation right there. So the foot lands. The front leg is strong. That knee's not creeping forward. Arms coming through. Leg locks out. See that? They're working against each other, which is perfect. That's what you want. All high-level throwers have that action right there. For example, let's go to Evan. Evan has really, really, really good hip-shoulder separation. If I can find the video. This one right here. So look at this hip-shoulder separation by Evan. That's amazing hip-shoulder separation. His front leg locks and the brace, the leg lock happens as the arm comes through. That's the timing that you want. Okay, let's look at, this is a really easy to see clip of Trevor Bauer. I just like the angle on it. So his leg is down, it's stable, and the lock happens as the ball comes through, right there. See the knee straighten up as the ball's coming out. That's the timing that you want. Okay, so once again, let's go back to this old video. Not old, but the before video of Jimmy. Ball's out, leg is still completely collapsed. After the ball's released, then the lock happens. Okay, then let's go look at this throw again from yesterday. Zoom in some. Look at the timing there. Ball's coming through, leg is locking out. Perfect adjustment, and all we did, the only thing we did was add the medicine ball throw, the separation medicine ball throws, and do our separation throwing drill. Night and day difference, and that's one example of how you can save your arm if you look and you see that you have a very poorly timed front leg lock. And one more thing before I finish. I know that we do an overhead med ball drill. I don't know where the video is at, but we do an overhead med ball drill to work on leg lock. That's to create a stronger drive into the ground. Yes, the leg lock happens there, but the focus of that drill is not to so much to create a leg lock. It's to work on the power of that foot going into the ground, because the more power you can put into the ground, the more power that's going to come back up into your throw. So once again, great work here by Jimmy. And this is something that if he continues to work at, it's not going to be much time, and you're going to see him throwing mid, maybe even upper 80s off the mound.